Very good. Let me close this and I'm going to open our here. Okay, very well. So again, I put this on the website so you don't have to write anything down and just listen. And so here we are. So today we start with the 19th Sphenic number, and we'll see how this works. Okay, so the 19th Sphenic number is 195, as we've known that for a long time. So 195 is a numerical value of these 5 Arabic letters, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad, and in Surah 19. And the 195 super prime happens to be 9619, and we just read 9619. Okay, we just read the last verse in chapter 96, which is the first chapter that was revealed. Okay, and it happens that 790th lonely prime is also 9619. Okay, and 790th verse containing the word God is 9127. Okay, so immediately it guides you from there, from chapter 9619, which God says, then you shall worship, you shall fall prostrate and come closer. It comes to 9127. Okay. 790th Gaussian prime is 13159. And again, sometimes, as I said, God puts these things in there, and He puts them in there because this number right now that I just put in here, 13159, actually the number of digits add up to 19. So God is telling us there is something going on here, so pay a little bit of attention. So when you do that, then we go back to our regular primes that we discovered a few weeks ago, and we find out that 13159 is actually a regular prime. It happens to be the 941st regular prime. And 941st composite happens to be 1131. 1131 prime is 9127. Again, we are back to 9127. Okay. So this is what I was telling you about these windows, these beautiful picture windows that God is showing us. Okay. And all of these interconnectivity of these numbers that God is portraying for us. Okay, so again, I'll go back to 1599. 1599, God says, then you shall worship God until you attain certainty. Okay, these are exactly that mechanism. When you are doing this, when you're looking at this, you're worshiping God. Okay. So you actually make this forbidden for yourself if you don't attend this, or you say, I don't have time, I have other things to do. Okay, I don't have to do this prayers. This doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean Friday prayers. All kinds of excuses why we shouldn't do these things. Okay. So we read it a couple of weeks ago. God says that, they leave you standing there. They don't show up. Once they see a business or pleasure, they go after it. Okay? They don't care. This number, again, has another dimension to it. It happens to be in the mirror. That means that if you write it backwards, it's also another prime. But this happens to be 368 Emir. And 368 is the sum of the frequencies of Ha plus Mim in Surah 43. Remember now, we've known this for a long time, that 368 is the index of composite 456, which is 24 times 19. Chapter 43 happens to be the 19th revealed initial surah in the Quran. It happens to be the 24th initial surah in the compilation version of the Quran. So that's why it is the index of 456, which is 19 times 24. That 24 is just not there because it's divisible by 19. No, that 24 has a mission. It tells you what the position of 43 is supposed to be within the compilation version of the Quran. Then 456 happens to be the index of 559, composite 559. But 559 happens to be, okay, it happens to be 13 times 43, and chapter 13 has 43 verses. Okay? And if you look at the structure of 559, what does it actually tell you? 5 times a day, 59. 59 is the 17th prime number. So you do 17 rak'ah 5 times a day. I mean, I don't know how God is going to tell you that, please do not do this. Do not forget the contact prayers. Do not discontinue the contact prayers. Please do this. Okay? Remember now in chapter 68, they were asked to fall prostrate when they were whole and able. Okay? Now you are asked again to fall prostrate, but you can't. Okay? They damage their own souls, and that would be the results. Okay? Then again, 559 happens to be the index of 684, composite 684. 684 is actually 36 times 19, and chapter 36 happens to be the 19th surah, initial surah in the Quran. And you can verify that for yourself. Okay, Surah Yasin. So this is the beautiful view that God is showing us today. Okay, so we've known that for a long time, but we didn't know that this actually comes from this other pathway. So there are all these different pathways that somehow they converge into the same areas that are the parameters of the Quran. Okay. This is the beauty of it. This is what God is showing us. So we worship Him because it's the right thing to do. We worship Him because we want to attain certainty. We don't want to have any doubts. These things will remove that doubt, okay, from our hearts. Or at least I hope it does. But do not listen to those guys who make fun of this. Okay? God says, do not sit with those who make fun of your religion. If they do that, then they are not your kind of people. You have nothing in common with them. They could call themselves anything you want. They want to. That's their problem. Okay? So I'm going to stop here and finish our Jumma.